Hello and welcome to this short ACCA video presentation. And on this particular presentation, I'm concentrating on one particular topic: how to ensure you get all of the communication professional skills mark, PSM, from question number 1. Now, the communication marks are the easiest of all of the professional skills marks to get. You'd be very irritated with yourself if you did not get the maximum available. Normally, it's around sort of 4 marks for the professionals, can be 3, but 3 or 4 marks for the PSM. 4 is the normal number for PSM, which is 40% of the PSM for question number 1. Okay, to achieve that, right, I'm using an illustration here of a question from March, June 24 called Mahoney. Now, I'm not doing a technical lecture. I'm not, it's not about what the content of this question is. That's for other presentations that I do. But what I do first of all is copy the requirements at the top of my answer. So I know that this is the order I'm going to follow what is going to be my answer. This is going to tell me that looks like an appendix, that looks like an appendix, a subheading, yeah, that looks like an appendix here, as well as a subheading, and then another subheading. Yeah. So it's telling me the format I'm going to follow. And obviously, marks tell you the length that you've got to look to cover. Right. First part of communication, yeah, is the report to the board of directors heading. That's all you need. You don't need anything else. This concept of to, from, subject, date, that died with when the arc went, right? That's gone. Yeah. You simply need report to the board of directors. BOD is a more than acceptable what is going to be format for board of directors. That's all you need. In my case, I've highlighted it and made it bold. Then you must do an introduction. You must do an introduction. The introduction must be brief. It must lay out what is basically within the requirements and what's about to follow. Don't write it like War and Peace. 2-sentence paragraph, perfectly okay. If you've got pure calculations initially, for me, I like to do it like this. I go see Appendix 1, see Appendix 2, so I'm following the order of the question. Some of you may want to put that at the end of the report, yeah, if you wish. I don't mind that. I don't have an issue with that, right, at all. But for me, I like it to flow there. Then the subheadings coming from the question where the discussion is. The multilateral netting, it wanted advantages and disadvantages. Now, I've put briefly there because I want to make sure that I don't go over the top. The marker's not going to go crazy at me for writing briefly. I'm not going to lose any marks for that. Yeah, because just to keep focus on the fact that I've got a few things to write under what is this area here. Yeah, I've got to cover a couple of these areas here for 2 and 3, 5 marks. So I've got to keep it brief. Yeah. So there's my pros and cons. Yeah. And subheadings. There's the hedging choices. I'll try to keep it as brief as I can. I thought I need a bit more there because the allocation 2 and 3, but keep it as brief as you can given the allocations are marked. Then the MPV of the generation. This is a calculation and a discussion because you've got what is going to be the point about the reference to the appendix, and then clearly explaining what it says in the requirement about what would the swap be better, would the option be better. Again, I'm not dealing with the technical side. Everything kept to 2 sentences maximum. Within a paragraph, I 3 maximum, but I generally use 2. Yeah. Assumptions, I am going to bring a technical point in here. You've got to make sure on assumptions you robustly challenge them. You robustly challenge them, you challenge them properly, you ensure you state where you think the problems could be, not just saying that they're unrealistic. You're not allowed to say they're unrealistic, yeah, in that area. It wanted a brief conclusion on the project generation, and you say it. and then you close it off with a conclusion overall, your overall conclusion at the end. You don't need to put a signature and a date on it. Yeah, that's not needed to get what is going to be the mark. So to reiterate, report to the board of directors, perfectly fine. Always do an introduction explaining what you're going to do. Refer to the appendices here if you wish or at the end. Then the subheadings to match what's contained within the question, keeping the length of the answer to what you think what the mark allocation is indicating in that area. And then always making sure you do a conclusion and you don't need to sign it off at what is going to be the end. And that is going to ensure that you get the maximum marks as far as communication is concerned. I hope this video has been helpful to you. I look forward to talking to you again on a future video on ACCA AFM.